Well, Matt, other than the heat, which is, of course, to abandon our original plan of doing this in the stand and coming to the air-conditioned sanctuary of the Boom Boom, after 2 months, must be delighted at last to be out on the training pitch and managing.
Yeah, just to be good to be back in the club as well. You know, just it seems ages ago since the end of the season. I've had a lot going on in the summer months, May and June. So, no, it's delighted to be back in here, back in with the staff and the players, and get underway with the training.
You say it's been a busy 2 months. I think you've been rubbing shoulders with the rich and famous.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say. Yeah, I've done 2 courses which I needed to do, which basically fine. Other than the pro licence now, I've got a diploma in football management, which I did at the University of Liverpool, but in the London campus. So I had a week there. Then I had 2 weeks up at St George's, just doing the A licence. So that was really good. Both courses were great. You know, meeting managers and current coaches in the game at our level and higher, and it's good just to pick their brains and the contacts that you form on those courses. And lucky enough to get to watch the England under-21s and national team train a couple of times. So it's been a busy summer on courses, but every opportunity I've been on the phone to agents and trying to get the squad sorted.
Came in at the end of April. Must have been a bit difficult. First thing you had to do was decide who you didn't want to stay. How difficult was that, bearing in mind that you knew you'd probably be getting rid of some popular players?
Yeah, I think first and foremost I had to look at the size of the squad, and I think we had 26, maybe 27 players, either on contract or non-contract, but actually in our squad, whether out on loan, fit or injured. There was 26, I think it was 27 players here, and obviously I can't, once the board gave me my budget, I wouldn't be able to, and I wouldn't do that anyway, want to run on that amount of players. It's just the way it was in the back end of the season and the injuries we had, how many numbers we had. So I had to, with the non-contracted ones, I had to, and the ones out of contract, I had to make the decisions there. And with me having to trim the squad and go a little bit lighter, unfortunately, like the likes of Nicky Bailey and Dean Beckwith, who have been outstanding servants to this club, just maybe probably with their age, I just wasn't sure how many games I could guarantee out of both of them. Ross Warner, his situation with me probably not being able to have 2, if you like, number 1 goalkeepers fighting it out. So with Ross, unfortunately, who I've worked with previously at Aldershot, and I get on really well with him, I had to unfortunately say that there wouldn't be anything here for you. And with Jamie Butler, I've got a great number 1 and a fan's favourite, and I'm delighted he's here. So then there was Aswad Thomas and Brett Williams, who unfortunately I couldn't do anything with either. So yeah, it was initially getting those players, trimming the squad down, working out who was on contracts, and then once I've got the ones on contract, then I had to work out how I was going to, maybe free my money up, free the budget up, how I wanted to use the money. And I think I've said in previous interviews I wasn't too happy in the attacking areas and how I didn't think we offered enough there. So I had to freshen it up. I wanted to freshen it up. We haven't been good enough, not just there, but mainly in that area. So with the 4 / Jimmy 5 players leaving us, that they are all attack-minded players. Hence why I've let those players go.
Yeah, Jimmy and Rory Deacon were 2 that weren't on the original list who also left.
Yeah, I think I originally put 4 on the transfer list, and obviously those 4 have left the club. Jimmy, with his agent, I just stressed to him that I'm not sure I can guarantee him starting. I'm not sure he's going to be the main striker for me. I know Jimmy wants to play and would want to see himself as a main striker, and I probably didn't. So I said to the agent that if he could over the summer find him a deal that Jimmy would be happy with, then I'll be more than happy to let him go, which is obviously the case with Hartlepool. With Rory, I did actually want to try and do something with Rory. I actually offered him a contract, spoke to his agent a couple of times, and I did make him an offer, but unfortunately that's the way it goes in football, and I had my limit of what I could do for him, and he's decided to go elsewhere.
But stop looking back now and looking forward. You've got all the players you wanted to keep are here and training, and you've added, say, a bit light up front, and you've added 2 players that come over as exciting attacking players already. Yeah,
just with, I think with those players leaving, it put me down to about 14, 15. Obviously, I know we're going to talk about the staff, I'm sure, soon, but with Craig Dundas, I haven't seen him in the back half of the season still train with us, and knowing him for years, obviously, and I felt not just his role on the staff, but I still think he could maybe offer something on the pitch as well. So I was keen to get something done with him. and add options to me up front, and maybe coming off the bench at times, or even starting the odd game. So I can still feel, even at 38, he's a fit boy, and I still think he's got something to offer to us. John Barden was someone who was one of the non-contract. He actually never signed a contract here with us, so he was on a non-contract, but wanted the 26, 27, if you like.
He was no more our player than anybody else's.
No, exactly, and I was very impressed with his performances in the back end of the season. Not only his performances and the way he plays on the pitch, but his character, his desire, his professionalism off of it. I thought it was vital that I could try and get something done with John. Not only is he a centre midfielder, he's quite versatile as well, to play right back and even centre half. He did excellent against Dover last game of the season, so I was pleased to get John in. Then obviously now I'm starting to build. I haven't got all of the ones I want in yet, but I'm starting to build into the attacking areas. Omar Bougel, someone I've watched when I was scouting for Mill a couple of years ago when he was at Worthing. Obviously got the move into the league. Did well there at Forest Green, Bromley, and as soon as he became available, I was very quick to make sure I could get that signing in. And just even this week, I've been impressed with his quality, his work rate, his professionalism. He's hungry and he wants to score goals. And this is 25. He's a good age, and I'm really pleased he's coming. And then I've got another winger who again I've come across before. When I was at Crawley, we played Brighton under 23s a couple of times, and there was that link there. And I remember David Edgerboy coming through at Brighton. He had a spell at Worthing. I think it was 16 goals he scored from the right wing as well. So he brings real raw pace, and at 20 years old, he's another exciting prospect for us.
And having got those two in, and you say John Barden, the other player in John's position at the end of last season was Nes Belikli. Is there a prospect of him joining as well? No, Nes won't be coming back. Again, I did speak to himself and the agent, and I said, look, I feel there's potential there for you. He probably wasn't going to start for us, but I feel he would have certainly been a key member of the squad, and I was looking forward to working with him and giving him the opportunity. But I think he's decided to maybe go on trial at a couple of league clubs, so that's the decision he's made, and he won't be returning back here. So with what we've got at the moment, a month to go to the start of the league season, what are you looking to do in the next month, player-wise?
Player-wise, I've got 17 contracted now. I'm looking to get up to 23. I've got 17, 18. The 18th player will be the number 2 goalkeeper. I've currently got 4 trialists in with us at the moment who have all been released by professional clubs, all of 19, 20 years old, with good attributes. So myself, Seb's training them hard this week, and we'll have a look at those as the games start, and then we'll make our decision on one of those 4. So that will be the number 2 goalkeeping slot filled. Down the left-hand side, I feel I'm a little bit weak at the moment. I'm hopefully, there's always hopefully with agents and players, you never know until you actually get it on the paper, but left back and a left winger I'm close to in those 2 areas, so hopefully I can have some developed over the next 2-3 days, week, who knows on that one. Centre half I definitely need to bring in to give competition to Brad and to Jamie Collins. I know I can I've got the option of Dale Bennett moving inside, I've got the option of then Tom Bolawinra playing right back or John Barden, so down that right side, strokes defensively central, other than bringing that other centre half in, I feel I'm quite solid there. Obviously in central midfield with the 4 players, Buteman, Eastman, Kenny Davis and John Barden as well. But the centre half options I've got 2 or 3 who are out of contract, who I've got my eye on at the moment, and they're probably maybe looking at maybe a league club or 2, so we might have to wait to find out a decision on that. But then if those don't come off, I've still got 2 or 3 really good loan options to come in, who I've seen over the last couple of years and monitored. So centre half wise, something I will bring one in, but it probably won't be for the next week, maybe a couple of weeks. As I said, the left back, left winger I'm close to. I'll look to probably bring another left winger in, or a stroke winger to just bring competition. But then again, I'll have to use the loan market for that, just for the reasons. And then maybe, hopefully, I'm keeping an eye on Tommy Wright and see how he's getting on. And then maybe obviously looking for maybe another centre forward.
Just going to mention Tommy and Wayne Brown, the 2 players who missed a lot of last season through injury. What's the position with them?
Yep, obviously Wayne Brown has his operation towards the back end of the season, so he's still in the early days of his rehab for his cruciate. We're probably looking, it's still a long way off, but we're probably looking around Christmas, New Year, hopefully return. But no, I know I'm seeing him every day, and his work rate, his attitude, he'll be putting every ounce in to get back available to us as soon as possible, which then gives competition into the midfield areas, which is really important to me at the moment.
Tommy Wright?
Tommy Wright is obviously a lot closer. He's joined in training, as in the ball work. He hasn't done any contact with us yet. He's done all the running with the lads this week. He's done all the ball work, but just hasn't joined in the contact. So he will be integrated into the sessions over the next 2 weeks. He will not be available, I shouldn't think, for the 3rd of August, but I'd like to think he'd be featuring not too far after that.
Now, we talked about the playing side, additions on the coaching management side as well. Firstly, I must be delighted to get hold of Jason Goodliff. You've known him for a long time.
Yeah, Jason...
He's got the experience and he knows the club.
Exactly. Every box possible he ticked for me, so I know him, I trust him, I get on great with him, so that's a personal level of, your assistant, to come in and work along Mickey Stevens, who can't be here every day as in training, but Mickey's invaluable on a match day for us, and that older head, which I like as well, sort of maybe calming himself and Jason down a little bit. And
he really does know the club.
And he really does know the club. So with Mickey, with Jason as my 2 assistants, with Jamie Collins, who I felt was really important at his age as well, just giving that little bit of responsibility. First and foremost, he's a player. He's the leader, he's the captain, he leads the dressing room, but he will integrate himself, taking the young players aside, doing little sessions and improving the players there. Obviously, as I said, Craig Dundas to come in, he'll be with us full time now, whether he's playing on the bench or taking the warm-ups, fitness side. He's excellent and a great character, another club legend, knows the club inside out. So I've surrounded myself with good people, let alone the ones I've already inherited, with Seb, who's excellent as a goalkeeping coach. Clive as my kit man is absolutely outstanding. First in every morning, I can't even beat him in. So and then my medical team, who I've been really impressed with. They've led the first day's testing and they're playing for pre-season, working closely alongside Ali, Kat and Bobby. I'm really pleased with my staff, and Jason was the icing on the cake. To know the level, the players, the teams, to have played this club. He was a perfect fit, and he's a great acquisition to the club.
And analysts as well, I gather you've got ideas for analysts.
Yeah, unfortunately Scott Monroe, who's linked in with Doz, has gone down to Havant. He lived down that way anyway, so it just makes sense. But Scott was a great lad, and I thank him for his efforts with us last season. But it's really important with the analyst side of things. I'm quite hot on that, and opposition, and making sure we leave no stone unturned for every game we play in. So we've got 3 lads interns coming in, who will focus on different aspects of the game and us and opposition. So they'll be coming in over the next couple of weeks, and once the games get going, they'll be very vital to us.
Now, the next month coming up, we've got a run of pre-season friendlies. Are you pleased with the programme you've come up with?
Yeah, obviously it was disappointing that Red Hill unfortunately couldn't play us. I'm going to use that now as a training game. The lads would have only played a maximum of 45 minutes in that first pre-season game anyway. So I'll use that as a training game next Saturday morning. One that's not advertised, just through my links with Neil Harris, Terry Bullivant, who I get on great with there. We're playing their first team behind closed doors on the Tuesday. So that's probably our first real test against them. And then we go into 4 Conference South teams, Saturday, Tuesday, before the Chelsea under-23s in our last game. The SCR game on the Friday night will be a mixture of probably our squad players and an academy, just to make sure the whole squad 7 days before the start of the season have got 90 minutes in them.
There was amongst those friendlies was one down at Havant. Was there any second thoughts about taking that one, given that it's likely to be something that could almost be described as Sutton past to be Sutton present?
Not at all. I mean, as soon as Doz went there, he just said, "Look, pre-season, I've got no problems with that. I treat Havant no different, no matter who's playing for them, no different to the other Conference South teams. Millwall, Chelsea, all I'm looking at is assembling this squad, getting them as fit, sharp as possible, making sure they're tactically as organised and they're fighting fit, ready to go on the 3rd of August. So that it wouldn't matter who we play there, and it'd be nice maybe to see some of the old faces say hello, but we'll be treating that pre-season game no different to any others, and it'll be minutes into the players and making sure we're working on things we want to be working on.
And as well as the friendlies, got a chance to meet the supporters in a couple of open days or open events in the next month.
As I said, unfortunately I haven't been around much this summer, but I've had don't get me wrong, I've been very, very busy, and now we're back in. I'm back in all the time now, and I'm really looking forward to meeting the supporters on the 15th, isn't it? Monday, the fans forum, and then the following Monday, the 22nd, which is, I mentioned to Bruce and AB and Dave Fairbrother there to open the doors up there, all schools, youth teams, fans, anyone who wants to come and watch us train, see what we do. Afterwards, come on the pitch, have pictures taken, sign shirts, have a kick around with the players, meet all the players, the staff, etc. Buy your season ticket, and look forward to the season starting.
And in terms of what supporters can expect, what can they expect in terms of style of play or the way we're going to play, and what are you looking to do on the pitch? Have you got a set style? Or
yeah, I think especially at home, I will probably, and I'm already instilling it into the players a little bit now, that I will try and create two different styles. Maybe at home we'll play slightly different to maybe we'll play away. Away from home, I want to be really hard to beat. I don't want to give anything away. Naturally, I'm a defender by trade, and I don't like being rolled over or giving teams.
The Gray and Goodliff centre-back partnership.
Exactly, yeah, and myself and Jason will be instilling that. We don't give anything away. We like clean sheets, but at home, our supporters pay to come and watch us, and I want to play attacking, fast, quick football. Teams aren't used to playing on our surface, so I want to make them not used to get it. I want to come out the traps fast. I want to play forward quickly. As I say, defensive mentality. We'll be solid behind the ball, but I love wingers. Almost certainly, I like two centre forwards at home. Almost certainly, and I like crosses in the box. And what entertains me is action in the final third, and that's where I feel I'm going to work on us and sign the players to try and be as creative and as threatening in the final third as possible.
Your first managerial job, probably can't wait till August the 3rd now. Must be really looking forward to it.
No, I am. Yeah, I knew I had a busy summer, which was already penciled in or planned in before I even got the job. So, as I say, I've got the summer. I've got them. I'd say 2/3 of the squad. I'm delighted with. Make these few additions over the next few weeks. Get the players as fit and as organised as possible, and I can't wait for August the 3rd.
Thanks for your time. Sure, we wish you all the best.
No problem.
All the best for the season.
Cheers, Danny. Thank you.